The wind howls through the skeletal trees, whispering of things long dead and better forgotten. The moon, sickly and full, casts an eerie glow over the town of Shadowbrook, where fear grips the hearts of the townsfolk. Something stirs in the darkness beyond the fields, past the graves that refuse to lie still. From the depths of the old ruins, a presence stirs, a force that defies the natural order, commanding the dead to rise from their slumber. The Necromancer has returned. The clock strikes midnight, and the ground trembles. From the mist-covered cemetery, skeletal hands claw through the earth, reaching for the living. The Necromancer stands atop a windswept hill, his hollow eyes fixed upon the town, a wicked grin spreading across his face. His cursed magic pulses through the air like the breath of death itself. The town is doomed, unless you can stop him. The heroes gather, drawn together by fate or by desperation. Each carries their own strengths, their own secrets, and their own reasons for standing against the darkness. But will they be enough? Will their resolve hold in the face of pure, unrelenting evil? The Necromancer's army rises. His wicked laughter echoes through the night. The battle for Shadowbrook begins now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Solo Gamers Club. This is Keith, and tonight I'll be returning to the forlorn town of Shadowbrook as we play A Touch of Evil, the supernatural game from Flying Frog Productions. In this playthrough, I'm going to introduce a custom D100 Advanced Mystery Phase chart that I've designed. In addition, I'll be adding my Thematic Research Variant to the playthrough, which will offer the heroes the opportunity to perform some detailed research on the villain and find his weaknesses that they may exploit. So, travel back with me to late 18th century New England as we play A Touch of Evil. For this video series, I'm going to try to expedite the playthrough, where I will only film the critical dice rolls. For things like movement, I'll simply show the results of the moves. For this series, we'll be facing off against the mysterious Necromancer, a vile and depraved man that employs dark magic to raise legions of undead from their graves. To complete the pre-game setup, we need to randomly place 3 Walking Dead minions in random locations. Then we will draw 3 additional random locations and we'll place the Thematic Research tokens in these locations. The first Walking Dead will appear at the windmill. Another will start the game at the stone bridge on the coast board. And the third will begin at the crossroads on the Shadowbrook board. The first of the Thematic Research tokens will be placed in the marsh on the Shadowbrook board. The second appears at the blacksmith shop in the town. And the third Thematic Research token will start in the fields in the northern part of Shadowbrook. Now we're going to reshuffle our layer deck, and then we're going to introduce our heroes to the viewers. Our first hero is Victor Danforth, the playwright. He's going to begin as our first player. Victor has the keywords male and performer. And his abilities include creative thinking. When rolling for movement, draw an event card on a roll of 1 or 2 instead of just a 1. So that will be very valuable in getting us additional event cards. He also has flair for the dramatic. Once per turn as an action, he can pay 4 investigation to take any card with quotation marks in the title into his hand from the event discard pile. and that could be very valuable for us. His upgrade is Ambition. It's going to give him 2 extra health boxes, and it says once per turn, you may re-roll 1 die, adding +1 to the result. However, if the re-roll is a natural 1, cancel the re-roll and take 1 wound. All right. Now, Victor has a very low combat skill, so we're going to have to rely on his spirit and cunning and honor to use him effectively. Next is Adriana, the Foreign Traveler. Her keywords are female and strange. And her abilities include blind, may not use book or map items. She has fast strike. During a fight, she's going to roll her fight dice and resolve any hits before the opponents would get to fight back, so that is very valuable. She also has enhanced senses, pays 1 less investigation to look at the secrets of a town elder to a minimum of 1. Also, she may pay 2 investigation during a fight to force an opponent to re-roll one of their fight dice. This can be used multiple times per fight. She has 3 health boxes. Her upgrade is Blind Fury. It's going to give her +1 to Spirit and an extra health box. And that reads, before rolling any fight dice during a fight round, guess how many hits you will get. If correct, do 2 extra hits. So it's kind of an interesting upgrade. Then we have the Privateer, Jack Fellows. His keywords are male and military. He has a special ability called Duelist. Once per fight round, he may re-roll all of his missed 2 hit rolls, and that's very powerful. That's going to be a good chance of him to get hits each round of a combat. He has 3 health boxes, and his upgrade is Swashbuckling. It's going to give him +1 to honor, +1 combat. And that special ability says during a fight, you may cancel any number of your own hits just rolled to cancel that many enemy hits. So that's an interesting upgrade for him. And finally, we have Lucy Hanbrook. She has the keywords female and youth. Her special abilities are Hanbrook. She's going to start at the manor. And when she's KO'd, she'll be placed at the manor instead of the town hall. She's going to begin the game with 4 investigation instead of the normal 2. She's also lucky. Once per fight round, she can force her opponent to re-roll one of their fight dice, and that would help in limiting the amount of damage she's going to take. She also has youth, heals 1 wound at the start of each of her turns or showdown fight rounds. Problem is she only has 2 health boxes, but her upgrade would give her +1 combat and an extra health box, and that's Daughter of Shadowbrook. All town items at the blacksmith in town cost you 1 investigation less, to a minimum of 1. Well, let's take a closer look at the Necromancer and see what we're going to be up against. His keywords are villain, man, and magic. He has a combat value of 5, and he's going to begin with 20 wounds. His wound capacity is 5. We multiply that by the number of players. His special rule is Sorcerer. A vile and depraved man, the Necromancer uses dark magic to raise legions of the dead from their graves. Any hero who does not have a combined spirit and cunning of 8 or higher will only hit the villain in combat with a natural 6. All right, so at present, we'll check out our heroes as they exist and see if any of them have that combined spirit and cunning of 8. Well, Victor Danforth currently has spirit 4 and cunning 4, so he won't have to worry about that sorcerer ability. Adriana has a spirit 3 and cunning 3, so she's too short. 2 points short. Same goes with Jack Fellows. He has spirit 3 and cunning 3, so he will need to boost up 1 or both of those by 2. Then finally we have Lucy Hanbrook, and she's a little worse off. She's got spirit 3 and cunning 2. She'll need to improve those by 3 points, so we'll need to take care of that before we get to the showdown. He also has the advanced abilities Eruption of the Dead. At the start of the game, place Walking Dead at 3 random locations. At the start of each mystery phase, place a Walking Dead at a random location, or at 2 random locations if the shadow track is currently in the red area. Then we have Relentless Advance. At the start of each mystery phase, before anything else occurs, every minion on the board moves 1 space along the shortest path towards the town hall. Or if you're on the coast, it'll move towards the town square. Then we have Death's Embrace. Any town elder killed by the villain is turned into a zombie elder, an evil elder, on a d6 roll of 4+, discarding any secrets they have and joining the Necromancer as normal for an evil elder. And finally we have Zombie Plague. Anytime the mystery card Murder is played, roll a d6. On a roll of 4+, put a Walking Dead at the same random location as the investigation. All right, so we're going to have a lot of minions on the board, it looks like. Now let's take a look at the Necromancer's minion chart. Now he uses the same minion chart as the vampire. And his minions would include bats. Now those don't fight. We discard bats after encountering them. But every hero in the space has to roll a d6 for each item they have. And on a roll of 1, the item is carried away, discarded. If the hero has no items, instead they take a wound on a d6 roll of 4+. After resolving bats, every hero in the space would gain 2 investigation. Then he has wolves, minion, animal, 3 fight dice, and their health is operated differently. We discard the wolves after the first round of combat. They're deadly. They're going to hit on a roll of 4, 5, or 6 instead of the normal 5 or 6. And then the reward would be 1 investigation for each hit done to the wolves. Then he has Walking Dead, minion, undead, zombie, and horde. They have 4 fight dice, 4 health, and they have a reward of 3. Special ability is slow. This enemy's fight dice only hit on rolls of 6 instead of the normal 5 or 6, so they're a little less apt to do damage to us. And then finally it is the succubus, minion, undead, vampire. Fight dice of 2, 3 health, reward is 4. And they have a special ability called Allure. Gain +1 fight dice when attacking any male hero. Well, we have 2 male heroes, so that could end up being a problem. They also are vicious. This enemy's fight dice rolls of 6 will count as 2 hits each. All right. Now, before we get started with the playthrough, I'm just going to go over that D100 Advanced Cooperative Mystery Phase chart that I've designed. Now, in designing the new chart, I've preserved many of the probabilities that are included on the existing Cooperative Mystery Phase chart. Some of the results are critical in the design, as an example, the murder result and lies and deceit, where honor is going to be checked versus the town elders, and they're going to be gaining secrets. So we've preserved those probabilities. What I've done is I've lessened the probabilities of the results that are outside of the baseline of that bell curve. So 6, 7, and 8 results are going to be the same probability as we have on the chart. As we proceed away from that bell curve and the curve starts coming down on each side, I've added a few of my own user-created results into this, and this is going to hopefully give some variety. I was getting a little tired of just the simple 11 results that we have on this, and I wanted to get a few more interesting type of results for my playthroughs. We're also going to be using the Thematic Research Variant that I developed. In this case, we'll be using the 3 results for the Necromancer. Each of the parchments that we've placed out on the map in the marsh and in the fields and at the blacksmith, hero can travel to that location, and then as an action, they can attempt to make a combined Cunning and Honor 6+ test. The cunning portion would represent the investigator's ability to piece together the clues, while the honor portion would represent the investigator's street smarts and their ability to interact with insiders. If we can score a total of 2 or more successes, the investigator can flip that token over, and that will reveal a number between 1 and 3. Then we will look on the chart, and that would give us a special ability that is targeted against the Necromancer and his abilities. Now for this playthrough, all of the expansions that are available are going to be included in the game. That will include all of the big box expansions and the card deck expansions. So we'll be playing with everything that we have available to us. And we're going to get started with our first player, Victor Danforth. And as I said in the intro, I'm going to take care of the dice rolls that are not critical off camera, and I will just show you the results. That should speed the playthrough a little bit. Victor Danforth has rolled a 4, and I think we're going to move him to the marsh, and he's going to attempt to investigate that first thematic clue that we have. So he's going to move 4, and he is at the marsh. Now we can perform our actions in any order. However, as a part of the Thematic Research Variant, we have to encounter our space first, and then we can do any research for that token. So we're going to begin with encountering the marsh. And here's the roll. He's rolled a 4, so that will entitle him to an event card draw. And Victor draws the event card Aggressive Combat. Give any hero, minion, or villain +2 combat for 1 fight round. All right, we're going to add that to our community pool of event cards. We'll be using the team rules for this solo playthrough, and that means that all of the event cards are placed into a community pool and anyone can use them. All right, Victor has completed interacting with the space, and he's going to attempt to locate that research token. So he's going to do a combined cunning and honor test. His cunning is 4, honor is 3. He's going to roll 7 dice. If he can get 2 6s or more, we'll be able to turn that token over and see what he's found. Now if he fails to achieve the 2 6s or greater, we're going to draw a random layer card, and that research token is going to move to another location on the map. And that represents a trail of clues that the investigators would be following in trying to perform this research. So here is the roll. And he has only 1 6. So he's failed. And we're going to have to draw a new location for that token. So the trail will lead to the monastery, and we're going to place that token at the monastery. And I think that's going to bring Victor's turn to a close. We'll move on to Adriana, the foreign traveler. Adriana has rolled a 1 for movement, so that entitles her to an event card draw, and she's drawn a skilled hand. Event Master. Play on any hero, including yourself, once per game round, or once per showdown fight round. That hero may re-roll any 1 die they have just rolled, and that's a remains in play card. So that's pretty valuable. Now, we don't have to use this right away. We can keep it and assign it to a player that might need it at some time in the future. So I think that's what we'll do. And I think since she has a roll of only 1, we're going to move her to the blacksmith. And she'll be able to encounter that space and maybe make a search, do some research for that research token. And I think Adriana is going to encounter the space first, and she's going to draw an event card. And she draws the event Accusation. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space, or play at the start of a showdown to reveal any one town elder's secrets. If this causes them to become an evil elder, gain 6 investigation. All right. And as she's at the blacksmith, she's going to do a little shopping, and she's decided to use 2 investigation to purchase a horse. That's going to give her +1 to movement. Now Adriana is going to do some research, and she's going to attempt to pick up that research token. She has a cunning of 3 and 4 honor, so she'll be rolling 7 dice, and we're looking for 2 or more 6s. And she's done it. She's got 2 6s. So she will be able to turn over that token and we'll find out what she has found. This is token number 3. So we'll check our sheet and see what she's found. Token number 3 is Incantation of Protection. This incantation will act as a ward against the power of the Necromancer. Immediately place a resolve token on a town elder of your choice. Well, that is awesome. So we're going to discard that token and then we will place a resolve token on any one of the 9 town elders. I'm going to place the resolve token on Magistrate Croft. His special ability is gain +2 fight dice versus any beast, man, or construct. +1 fight dice versus the others. And since our Necromancer has the keyword man, I think he would be a very effective elder to have along with us during the showdown. So we'll place the token there. And those resolve tokens would allow that elder, he can spend that token to prevent his death. So it's a very, very valuable token. And that's going to complete Adriana's activation. We'll move on now to Jack Fellows, the privateer. Now Jack has a very capable combat level of 3, and he has that duelist ability. Once per fight round, he can re-roll all of his missed fight dice. So I think we might want to use him to, if we can reach the space, to clear out one of those 2 walking dead that are on the board. Well, Jack has rolled a 4 for movement, so that will allow him to reach the windmill and combat that walking dead there, and I think that's what we'll do. So Jack has reached the windmill and he is going to be accosted by a walking dead. Let's take a look at the walking dead. Now the walking dead have the keywords minion, undead, zombie, and horde. They have 4 fight dice, 4 health boxes, and our reward will be 3 investigation if we can kill them. They have a special ability called slow. The enemy's fight dice only hit on rolls of 6 instead of 5 or 6, so they're a little immobile and that gives us an advantage. So we're going to commence round 1 of the combat. Jack is going to be rolling 3 dice and the walking dead will be rolling 4. Now, Jack has that special ability, duelist, and he can re-roll his misses, so that is great. We're going to make the roll for the first round. All right, the first round, Jack has scored 2 hits, and the walking dead have scored none. Jack is going to exercise his duelist ability. He'll re-roll his miss. And that has still missed, so he is going to score 2 hits against the walking dead. That will use up 2 of their 4 health boxes. So we've marked the walking dead with 2 wounds, and Jack is going to stick around and we're going to do a second round of combat. This time Jack has scored no hits yet. Walking Dead have scored 1 hit against him. He's going to exercise his duelist ability and he's going to re-roll all 3 of these dice and see if he can get a hit. He scored 1 hit. So in this case, each side is going to take 1 wound. So Jack has taken 1 of his 3 health boxes. He's taken a wound on that. And the Walking Dead have 1 health box remaining. We're going to do 1 more round of combat. We'll start our 3rd round. And unfortunately, Jack has done no hits. Walking Dead have struck him twice. So Jack is going to use his duelist ability and he'll re-roll his misses. We need 1 more hit to take out the Walking Dead. And he's failed. So what is going to happen is Jack is going to take an additional 2 hits, and unless we can find a way to stop those, that's going to KO Jack. I think Jack is going to play the card Aggressive Combat. Give any hero +2 combat for 1 fight round. And I think we will play that, and that will allow us to roll 2 additional dice and see if we can finally get a hit to take this Walking Dead out. We've already got him down to 3 of 4 hits, so let's see if we can do it. And he's failed. He's got 2 1s. So what'll happen is Jack is going to be KO'd. All of the wounds on the Walking Dead are going to be restored, and then Jack is going to be toted back to the town hall where he will recover. So that was an unfortunate set of events. Jack attempted to take out that Walking Dead, but he just didn't have quite enough strength to do so. So he's back at the town hall recovering, and unfortunately the Walking Dead now is completely healed, and he will remain at the windmill. And we'll move on to Lucy Hanbrook's turn. And we'll see where she's going to move to. Lucy has 3 movement points, and I think I'm going to have her move to the church. She's going to interact with that space, and she'll begin by drawing an event. She's drawn the event Entourage, play immediately. Play this card on any hero. That hero may now carry up to 2 additional allies. These may be from any location and or ally town items. Remains in play. All right, we'll have to select a character that we want to have the entourage. And I think I'm going to play that on Lucy herself. She will take the entourage card, and that's going to give her that ability to have an extra 2 allies. Now, as Lucy is at the church, she's going to attempt to train Spirit. She'll pay 2 investigation, and she's going to make an honor 5+ test. If she's successful, she'll gain +1 spirit. All right, Lucy has an honor of 4, so she'll be making 4 dice, a roll of 4 dice, and she's looking for 5 or better. And she's failed, so she does not gain the extra spirit. It's too bad. Now, as this is kind of an important roll, I'm going to play a skilled hand, Event Master. Play on any hero, including yourself, once per game round, or once per Shadow Fight round. That hero may re-roll any 1 die they have just rolled. So we're going to make a re-roll in an attempt to try to get that trained spirit completed for her. Here's the roll. She's rolled a 4, so she's still failed. That card will remain with her, and she'll be able to use that once per game round. And that's going to bring the hero phase to a close. We'll move on now to the mystery phase. So we'll begin the mystery phase, and we start out with Relentless Advance. At the start of each mystery phase, before anything else can occur, every minion on the board will move 1 space on the shortest path towards the town hall or town square. So the Walking Dead in the windmill and at the crossroads are moving towards the town hall. And the Walking Dead at the stone bridge is going to move towards the town square. And now the Necromancer's Eruption of the Dead ability will kick in, and he's going to place a Walking Dead at a random location. And unfortunately, a Walking Dead appears at the blacksmith, and that is where Adriana is located. She's going to have to fight that Walking Dead immediately, out of sequence. Now, Adriana has the special ability Fast Strike. She can roll her fight dice first and resolve any hits before the creature will have a chance to strike her. She has a combat level of 3, so she'll be rolling 3 dice. And she has rolled a 2 and a 1 and a 1, so she has no hits at this point. Well, she has no reroll ability. We have no event cards that will help us. Now the Walking Dead will strike, and they're going to hit only on 6s, fortunately. And they have a combat level of 4. Here's their attack on Adriana. And they have rolled no hits, so that concludes the first round of combat. Adriana can either escape or she can continue the fight. And I think she's going to continue the fight. So we're going to make a roll for her using her fast strike ability, which will get hits on the creature first. She's rolled 1 hit, so we'll mark that Walking Dead with a wound. And now the Walking Dead will strike at her. The Walking Dead have done no hits, which is great. I think we will have Adriana stick around for a 3rd round, and she'll launch her attack against the Walking Dead. She's rolled 2 hits. She's got a 5 and a 6. That will do 2 more wounds to the creature. We'll mark them accordingly. And now they're going to launch their attack on her. They've rolled no hits. She's managed to deftly avoid their strikes. And I think Adriana is going to stick it out. If she can get a hit here, she will kill the Walking Dead before they have a chance to attack her. Here is the roll. And she's done it. She has a 6, and that's enough to take the Walking Dead out. That is great. She is going to earn a total of 3 investigation for killing the Walking Dead. So Adriana has earned 3 investigation. Next, the KO'd heroes are going to stand up, and that means that Jack Fellows is fully healed at the town hall. And incidentally, when Jack Fellows was KO'd, he needed to roll a d6 to determine if he has to give up any items, allies, or investigation. So we'll take care of that right now. That should have been done at the windmill. Here's the roll. 2, and he would have lost the 2 investigation that he started the game with. So that is the status of Jack Fellows. And now we're going to make our advanced cooperative mystery phase chart roll. Now this is going to be a D100, and we'll see how this works out for us. I'm hoping that this will provide a little bit more variety and suspense. So we'll make our D100 roll and consult the chart. And we've rolled a 21. 21. Let's see what 21 is on our new alternate advanced cooperative mystery chart. And 21 is Surge of Evil. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If it is a minion or if the villain attacks, draw a random location for placement. All right. So we'll consult the minion chart, and we're going to roll a d6 and see what appears. Result is a 5, and that is a succubus. And we'll draw a random location to see where the succubus appears. And the succubus will appear at the docks. That's on the coast board. So, an alluring but deadly succubus appears at the docks on the coast board in Tidewater. And now finally we're going to draw a mystery card. And the card is revealed to be Murder! Mystery Death. The villain is struck again. Place 3 investigation on the board at a random location. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. Now this event is going to work hand in hand with an advanced ability of the Necromancer, Zombie Plague. Anytime the mystery card Murder is played, roll a d6. On a 4+, put a Walking Dead at the same random location as the investigation. All right. And here is the d6 roll. The roll is a 6, so in addition to the investigation, we'll also be placing a Walking Dead. And that's going to occur at the doctor's office in Shadowbrook. So 3 investigation and a Walking Dead appear at the doctor's office, and my fears are coming to fruition. And that is that the board is going to have lots of minions on it. Right now we have a total of 5 minions on the board. 3 in Shadowbrook and 2 in the Tidewater area. That's going to bring the first turn to a close. right, we're ready to start our next turn. Shadow track is at 19. And as I suspected, now the board is starting to get kind of covered with these Walking Dead, so we're going to have to address that, because if we have to place a minion and there's none of that minion remaining in the supply, Shadow track is going to drop a point for each of those. So we have to stay on top of these Walking Dead and other creatures. Our first player is now Adriana, and we're going to have her begin her turn. Adriana has rolled a 1, so that's going to entitle her to an event card draw, and she draws Entourage. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero. That hero may now carry up to 2 additional ally cards. These may be from any locations and or ally town items. Remains in play. And I think we're going to give that card to Victor Danforth, the playwright. Now, Adriana has 3 investigation, so I think what we'll do is I'll have her move to the church, and she's going to attempt to train her spirit there. All right, Adriana is going to encounter the space, and that will entitle her to an event card draw. She draws the card Hunter's Courage, Event Master. Play on any hero, including yourself. Fight dice rolls of 1 for that hero now count as a hit, or 2 hits if fighting a beast or vampire. Remains in play. And the flavor text reads, "There is no escape for you this time, devil." All right. Well, I think we're going to play that on Jack Fellows. He's got some good combat skills, and I think that will help him. So we'll play that on Jack Fellows. All right, she's going to attempt to train her spirit. Her honor is 4, so that'll give her 4 dice rolls, and we'll see what she gets. We're looking for a 5 or better. And she's rolled 3 1s and a 2. Our dice rolling skills need improvement. And I think that's going to bring Adriana's turn to a close, and we'll move on to Jack Fellows. Jack is at the town hall, and we'll have him roll for move. He's rolled a 3, and I think I'm going to have him confront those Walking Dead at the doctor's office. So he'll move there, and we're going to have a combat. All right, Jack is going to be rolling 3 combat dice, and the Walking Dead 4. We're going to hit on 5s and 6s. They are going to hit on 6s only. Now, Jack just acquired that Hunter's Courage, so if he rolls any 1s, it's now going to count as a hit against his enemies, so that's good. And here's round 1 combat. All right, Jack has done a total of 2 hits. Walking Dead have done 1. Now we get to re-roll our misses. So I'm going to re-roll that missed 3 and see if we can get an additional hit on the Walking Dead. And we did not. So we've got 2 hits against the Walking Dead, and we take 1. All right, we've marked them with the hits, and we're going to do another fight round here. Here's the roll. And Jack has done 1 hit because of his special ability. That is, he hits on 1s now. The Walking Dead have done none. And we're going to use our special ability, Duelist, and we can re-roll our misses. Here's the roll. And we have 1 additional hit. So we've got a total of 2 more hits. That's going to be 4 hits on the Walking Dead, and we've taken them out. That is great. And that is going to earn Jack Fellows 3 investigation. Jack is at the doctor's office, and he's going to take his actions now. His first action is going to be to acquire these investigation tokens. So he's up to a total of 6 of those now. Next, he's going to encounter the space, and he gets to draw an event. And Jack draws the card Endurance. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero to give them an extra health box. Remains in play. Well, I think we are going to give that to Lucy Hanbrook. She only has 2 of those, so this will give her a 3rd health box. That's great. And now, since he's at the doctor's office, he's going to take advantage of that heal ability. Heal wounds for 1 investigation. So Jack is going to pay 1 to heal the wound he took in his battle against the Walking Dead, and that's going to end his turn. We'll move on to Lucy Hanbrook, and she has 2 investigation, and we'll see what she gets for a movement roll. She has 4 movement points, and our choices would be to either confront the Walking Dead. She doesn't have any weapons, though, unfortunately. So what I think I'll do is I'll have her move to the magistrate's office, and she can train her cunning there. And we need to move up her cunning a little bit, and her spirit for that matter. So she's going to move to the magistrate's office. So she's going to encounter the space, and she's drawn the event card, Teamwork. Play to gain +2 fight dice for each other hero in your space for a single attack. Or play to prevent up to 3 hits to any other hero or town elder in your space, including town elders in your hunting party. All right. And now she's going to attempt to train cunning. We'll have her pay the 2 investigation, and she'll be able to make a roll using her honor. Her honor is a 4. So we'll have her roll 4 dice, and we're looking for a 5 or greater. Here's the roll. And she's done it. She's got 2 5s, so she's going to earn herself a +1 to cunning. So she's earned herself a +1 cunning marker, moving her up to 3 cunning. And that's going to bring her turn to a close. And we'll move on now to Victor Danforth. He has 2 investigation. And he rolls a 4 for movement. And I think we're going to have Victor investigate the abandoned keep. So we're going to move him to the abandoned keep, and he is going to draw an abandoned keep card, and we'll see what he finds. And he draws the card Broken Mirror, Danger, Portent. You come across a cracked and broken mirror in the old ruins. Gazing into it, you see a glimpse of things to come. Look at the top 3 mystery cards. Take 1 wound for each card that is keyword death. Then put 1 card back on the top of the deck and discard the other 2. Gain 2 investigation. All right. So we'll take a look at the top 3 mystery cards. And the first one is Haunted Ground. No keyword of death there. Okay, here's the next one. Mystery Death. That's the murder card. And unfortunately, we're going to have to take a wound for that. So Victor will take 1 wound of his 3 that he has in his capacity. We'll mark him with 1 wound. And the last card is the Dark Omen. That's Mystery Omen. All right, so we've taken 1 wound, but we can discard the other 2 cards. So we can put 1 card back on the top of the deck and then discard the other 2. So let's see which ones we want to do. And I guess the least destructive of the mystery cards is this Haunted Ground. We're going to have to place a haunted marker on a random location and then move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. So we're going to place that back on the deck. The other 2 cards will be discarded. And then Victor is going to earn himself 2 investigation, moving him up to 4. And now that Victor has completed encountering the space, I think he's going to heal wounds. And that's kind of expensive when you're not in the doctor's office. Costs you 3, but I think it'll be worth it. So we're going to have him pay 3 investigation, and then he can discard the wound that he just received. And that's going to complete the hero turns. We'll move on to the mystery phase. So at the beginning of the mystery phase, the minions are going to move 1 step closer towards the town hall or the town square. So the succubus is going to move into the town square, and the Walking Dead will move into the barracks. Now, If another minion moves into a space where a existing minion is, that minion will be removed, but the shadow track is going to move up one space. So we're going to have to get out to the coast board pretty soon and try to take care of these things. Next up is the beginning of the phase, and the Necromancer's Eruption of the Dead ability is going to kick in. We're going to place a Walking Dead at a random location. And this time the Walking Dead will appear at the windmill. We'll place one there. And now we have to make a roll on our Cooperative Mystery Phase chart. And since we're playing with my revised D100 mystery chart, we'll have to make a D100 roll. And here is the roll. And we've rolled a 24. So let's see what 24 is on the chart. And incidentally, during the mystery phase, the first player is the player that will be resolving any effects from during this turn. The roll is 24, and that reads Unholy Ground. A cursed spot drains energy from those who pass. The hero takes a wound unless they pass a cunning 5+ test. All right, well, Adriana is our first player. She has a cunning value of 3. So we'll have her make 3d6 roll, and if she can get a 5 or better, she can forego the wound. Here's the roll. She rolled a 6, so she is safe. That's great. It's going to bring that portion of the turn to a close. Next up is we have to draw the mystery card, and we know what that is. And the mystery card is Haunted Ground. Mystery Haunting. Draw a random location and place a haunted marker there. Move the shadow track one step closer to darkness. And the flavor text reads, Folks seen strange things down in those parts. I wouldn't go down there unless I had no choice. So we're going to be placing a haunted marker in a random location. And haunted markers read, sometimes during the game, an area of the board will become haunted by a particularly nasty ghost. Those markers sit in a space and have a chance to attack any hero passing through. A haunted marker represents a space being haunted by a particularly vicious ghost. There is a limit of 1 haunted marker per space. Anytime a hero enters a space with a haunted marker, even if it's just moving through the space or lingers there, they must roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, they are attacked by a haunting, and we will be drawing a card from a deck, a hauntings deck. All right, let's find out where this haunting is occurring. And that hauntings token is going to be placed at Smuggler's Cove. And so we'll place a haunted marker at Smuggler's Cove. All right, our last step is to move the first player marker to Jack Fellows. We've increased or decreased the shadow track from 19 to 18 following that Haunted Ground mystery card. And we're ready now to begin our next round. Jack Fellows is up, and he's going to roll for his move. Jack has rolled a 1. That's going to entitle him to an event card draw. And he draws the event Escape. Play at the end of any showdown fight round in which the hero did no wounds to the villain. Roll a d6. On a roll of 3+, the villain escapes and the showdown immediately ends. Or prevent all wounds a town elder is about to take. If a part of a hunting party, they are removed from the fight. All right. Well, Jack has 1 movement point, and he has a total of 5 investigation. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to spend that movement point, and we'll have him move to the church. And now that he's at the church, he's going to play an event card. And he plays the event Accusation. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space. So Jack is going to gain 3 investigation, and we'll give him 3 investigation, moving him up to a total of 8. Now he's going to encounter the space, and he'll draw the event card that he's able to draw for being at the church. He draws the event Ritual of Protection, Event Magic. Play during a fight round to make a Spirit or Cunning 4+ test. For every 4+ rolled, gain 2 investigation and prevent up to 1 wound to any town elder or hero, including yourself. Or play to cancel any mystery card that is keyword death. Okay. Now that Jack is at the church, I think we're going to have him train Spirit. So he's going to pay 2 investigation, and he will be able to make a roll versus his honor. His honor is at 4. So we'll have him make an honor 4 test, and if he can get a 5 or 6, we'll increase his Spirit. All right, we haven't done too well on these tests, but let's see if we can do it. Whoops. And we've got 3 successes, so that means that Jack is going to increase his Spirit from 3 to 4, and he's going to gain a +1 Spirit token. And that is great. All right, that is going to bring Jack's turn to a close. We'll move on to Lucy Handbrook. All right, Lucy has rolled a 4 for movement, and I wish we can get her a weapon. That would improve her combat a little bit. I don't really want to have her go against a Walking Dead yet. She does have that lucky ability, which would allow her to force her opponent to re-roll any one of its fight dice per fight round. So that does help. But I think we got to try to find her some weapons and some investigation. So I'm going to have her move 4 points towards the manor. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not enough for her to reach there, but she's close at least. Kind of brings her out of harm's way as well. So I think that is going to end Lucy's activation, and we'll move on to Victor Danforth. All right, Victor is at the abandoned keep. Victor has 1 investigation point. We'll have him roll for move. And he's rolled a 2, so he has 2 movement points, and that allows him to draw an event card. When he rolls a 1 or a 2 for movement, his creative thinking earns him an event card. And he draws the card Strength of Will. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero. +1 Cunning remains in play. All right. Well, Victor has his Spirit and Cunning at 4, so we've got the 8 points we need to counteract the Necromancer's sorcerer ability, but the other players could use some help in that department. And I think probably the most helpful would be to Lucy Handbrook. So I'm going to give her that Strength of Will. And now Victor has 2 movement points. His choices would be to move towards the town, or he could investigate the marsh, but then we're risking a mystery card draw as well. So I think Victor is going to make his way towards the town, and that will be the extent of his actions. We'll move on now to Adriana, and she'll roll for move. She has a horse, so she's at +1. She rolls a 3, so that's going to give her 4 movement points, and I think she's going to move to confront the Walking Dead on the road space north of the blacksmith. So we'll have her move there, and we're going to have a battle. Now Adriana is going to use her Fast Strike ability, and that will allow her to inflict damage to the opponent before it can respond. She has a combat level of 3, so we'll have her roll 3 dice. And she has 1 hit. So we're going to issue a hit to the Walking Dead. We can get 3 more on it, and we will end up taking it out. All right, the Walking Dead have their wound, and now they're going to attack Adriana. Now they only hit on 6s because they are slow. They have no hits. So that ends the first round, and I think Adriana will stick around. And she's going to start a new round using her Fast Strike once again. Here's the roll. And she has 1 hit. And we'll mark the Walking Dead with their second wound. Now the Walking Dead will strike. They have no hits. That is great. I think Adrienne will stick around for another round. She'll use her first strike ability. Okay, here is her roll. She has 2 hits, and that is enough to take the Walking Dead out, and it can't even respond. Her fast strike is very valuable. It's going to earn her 3 investigation. So that moves her up to 4 investigation, and that's going to bring her turn to a close. And now we're going to move on to the mystery phase. First up is the Relentless Advance, and each of the Walking Dead are going to move 1 space. And it's not actually just the Walking Dead. All minions will take advantage of the Relentless Advance. In this case, the Walking Dead on the coast board is going to move into the space with the Succubus. The Succubus will be removed from play, but the Shadow Track is going to move down a step. We're at 17 now. Next up is the Eruption of the Dead. We're going to place a Walking Dead at a random location, and this time it's going to the lighthouse. So a Walking Dead appears at the lighthouse. Next is the Cooperative Mystery Phase chart roll. Here's the roll. We rolled a 48, and we'll read what we've got for 48. 48 reads, Mass hysteria. Paranoia spreads beyond the town. A town elder must discard 1 resolve token as fear grips the people. So, unfortunately, the resolve token that we placed on Magistrate Croft is going to have to be discarded. That is unfortunate. And now we're going to draw the mystery card. The card reads The Devil's Mark, Mystery Curse. This card plays on the hero that drew it, -1 spirit. And unfortunately, that is going to affect our first player, Jack Fellows. And so we've played that card on Jack Fellows. Now that's a curse. So that will remain in play until we can discard that. You can also gain relief from curses at the doctor's office or at the widow's cottage. Those are 2 places that we could use to try to get rid of that card. That's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll move the first player marker to Lucy Hanbrook. So we'll begin our next round, and Lucy's going to roll for movement. Lucy rolled a 1 that entitles her to an event card draw, and it says, If I could just reach. Take an item out of any discard pile. All right, we'll put that into our tableau of event cards. All right, Lucy's going to use the 1 movement point she has, and she'll move to the manor, and we'll have her investigate at the manor and have her draw a card. And she draws the card, Meeting of the Elders, Investigation. Gathering in Lord Hanbrook's study, the elders of the town have invited you to join in their discussions of recent events and the dark evil that has descended upon the town. Perhaps you are finally gaining their trust. Make a combined Spirit and Honor 5+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 5+ rolled. That's great. All right, Lucy has an Honor of 4, and she has a Spirit of 3. So that's going to entitle her to 7 dice, and we'll be gaining investigation for every 5 or greater. Here's the roll. And she's rolled a total of only 2, but that's going to earn her 2 investigation. Now Lucy has this A Skilled Hand card, and that will allow her once per game round to re-roll any 1 die they have just rolled. So we're going to tip that card and we'll use it for her, and maybe she can gain an extra success here. So we'll get these dice out and re-roll one of them. And it's a 4, so she just earned the 2 investigation then. So that'll complete her turn, and we'll move on to Victor Danforth. All right, Victor is on the road space to the south of the doctor's office, and we'll have him roll for move. His roll is a 2, and I'll have him move to the church. He can meet up with Jack Fellows there. Now, since he has a movement roll of 2, his creative thinking is going to kick in, and he'll be able to draw an event card. He draws them on a 1 or 2. He draws the card, I think not. Cancel an event card as it is played, or an event result on the villain's minion chart, or prevent one source from moving the shadow track, or cancel a layer card as it is played on a d6 roll of 5+. Okay, we'll add that to our total. Now Victor encounters the church, and his event card draw at the church is Autopsy. Event Science plays an action while at the doctor's office, and only if there is at least one town elder dead. Gain d6 investigation. Okay. All right, Victor does not have enough investigation to take advantage of the trained spirit action there. So that is going to bring his turn to a close. We'll move on to Adriana. Adriana is on the road space to the north of the blacksmith, and we'll have her roll for movement. She rolls a 4, and I'm going to have her try to deal with this walking dead. She'll move 3 spaces to that location with the walking dead, and she's going to battle him. All right, we're going to go to a fight round, and Adriana is going to put her fast strike to work. And here's her roll. She has rolled 2 hits. That is awesome. So we're going to mark the Walking Dead with 2 wounds. So the Walking Dead have 2 wounds, and now they're going to make their slow but lumbering attack against her. Here's their attack. They have 1/6, so she's taken a wound, and we'll mark her accordingly. Adriana has 3 wound boxes available. Now she does have the ability using enhanced senses. We can have her pay 2 investigation, and that would force an opponent to re-roll one of their fight dice, and I think that might be worth it. We'll have her pay the 2 and force her opponent to re-roll that 6. If they don't get a 6, then she won't take the wound. They rolled a 5, so that wound is canceled. That's a very good skill for her. Costs her 2, but it's worth it. All right, Adriana is going to move to another fight round. She has no wounds. Here's her fast strike. She's got 2 hits, and she's taken the Walking Dead out, earning her another 3 investigation. That is awesome. So once again, Adriana shows her combat prowess, and she's removed another Walking Dead from the board, and that is awesome. She has a total of 5 investigation, and that is going to bring her turn to a close, and we'll move on now to Jack Fellows. Jack has 6 investigation, but he's carrying that devil's mark. So we'll have Jack roll for move. Jack rolls a 2, so that's not enough for him to reach the Walking Dead, but I think what he will do is he's going to move to the blacksmith, and he's got some investigation now he can use for some purchases at the store. So Jack is going to encounter the blacksmith's office, and he'll start by drawing an event. And he draws the event, Search for the Truth. Play to look at a town elder's secrets without revealing them. You may discard any number of those secrets by paying 1 investigation each. Afterward, if the town elder has no secrets remaining, draw 1 new secret for them without looking. The flavor text is, I will find what I'm looking for. All right, well, at this point, I think we'll keep the card, and then Jack's going to do a little shopping. And Jack has decided to purchase a pistol. Town item and gun, +1 to combat. Quick, direct, deadly. Okay, so that'll cost him 5. That leaves him with 1 investigation, and now he's got a pistol at least, so that's great. And incidentally, Each player can hold a total of 3 items, plus 1 item from each of the corner locations. And that's going to bring Jack Fellows' turn to a close, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. Mystery phase begins, and our minions are going to move on the board. So that Walking Dead is going to be lumbering closer to the town hall. And on the coast board, we have a Walking Dead at the lighthouse. And he's going to take the shortest path to the town square. 1, 2, 3, 4, or else 1, 2, 3. So he'll take this route. They don't have to pay any costs on those. That's just for the heroes. Next is the Eruption of the Dead, and we're going to have to place another Walking Dead at a random location. And unfortunately, this one is going to appear at the town square. So it will appear at the town square, knocking the other one out, but raising the shadow track to 16. And that has entered into a new stage, and that's going to award the villain a +2 wound marker. So we're going to give the villain a +2 wound marker, moving him up to a total of 22 health. Next up is going to be our cooperative mystery phase roll. Here's the roll. Result is a 70 and 7, and we'll see what that is. And 77 reads, Cursed Village. Immediately draw and resolve 1 mystery card for each hero, starting with the first player. This replaces the normal mystery card for the turn. Oh no, we've got to draw 4 mystery cards. First card for Lucy, our first player, is Spread of Evil, mystery. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If the minion is rolled, place that minion in 2 extra random locations as well. Boy, oh boy, let's see if there's a way we can try to cancel this card maybe. Well, we'll make the roll on the minion chart first and see what we're going to be up against. I do have a card that we might be able to use. Here's the minion chart roll. Result is a 5, and that is a succubus. Well, we have this card called I Think Not. And that says, cancel an event card as it is played or an event result on the villain's minion chart. Well, that isn't an event. We can't use that. Oh no. So I'll have to see if I've got something else. Otherwise, succubus are coming out. Well, I have no way to cancel that. So in this case, it says, if a minion is rolled, place the minion at 2 extra random locations as well. So we're going to be drawing 3 layer cards, and succubi are going to be placed on the board. Oh boy. All right, here is the first location, and that succubus is going to go to the lighthouse. We'll draw the second location. That one is at the icy waters. So we have to place a succubus in the icy waters, but there's already a Walking Dead there. That's going to displace him, and he'll move 1 space closer to the town square. Not good. And finally, the last layer card is going to place a succubus at the stone bridge, and we need to get people to the coast board. There's too many minions there. Now we have to draw and resolve a mystery card for Victor Danforth. And he draws the card, A Tavern's Tall Tale. Mystery Hysteria. If the harbor master is still alive, anytime a hero wants to look at the secrets of a town elder, they must first pass an Honor 5+ test. If failed, any investigation or cards used are wasted. If he is dead or joined the villain, discard and move the shadow track 2 steps closer to darkness. Remains in play. All right, we'll place that in our Remains in Play area. Adriana is up next, and her mystery card is Lightning. Draw a random location to see where the lightning strikes. Place 3 investigation there, and any hero in that space takes d6 - 1 wounds. move the shadow track one step closer to darkness. And the flavor text is, the storms have been getting worse. Okay, we'll have to draw a layer card and find out where the lightning strikes. Hopefully it's not in a space with a hero. And it's going to happen at the Forgotten Island. So we'll place 3 investigation at the Forgotten Island. And the final mystery card is for Jack Fellows. He draws the card, The Order's Influence, Mystery Conspiracy. Play this card on Sophie, the midwife. While she is still alive, town elders with more than one secret may not join a hunting party. If she is dead or joined the villain, discard and move the shadow track one step closer to darkness. Her flavor text reads, "We are a private people and would prefer to stay that way." Okay, that card is going to be played on Sophie, and that will remain in play. All right, that's going to bring the mystery phase to a close. We don't have to draw a mystery card in this case because we have resolved a total of 4 of them, one for each of the characters. We were able to kind of weather that, but it was costly. All that it remains is to move the first player marker from Lucy to Victor Danforth, and that will complete the turn. And I think we're going to end the video here. We've done all right, but there are quite a few minions on the coast board, and we have no people there, so we need to travel to the coast board as soon as we can. We have built up a pretty good collection of event cards. We've got a total of 7 of them. Shadow Track is at 16. We need to get some weapons and further improve our spirit and cunning on the other 3 players. So until next time, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club signing off and inviting everyone to join me again for our next episode of A Touch of Evil. Thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a pleasant evening. Good night.